So it's 2021, let's say. The rules have changed. And your favorite Mavic drone, the big one, can't use it anymore. You need, let's say, 3 forms of certification and $500 in fees. What do you do with it? Well, I propose we turn it into a 4K gimbal camera. Come along for this journey. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to T3G. My name is Dalibor, and this was meant to be a product review. This was supposed to be a product review for the PolarPro, which blows my mind. I actually didn't realize it was from PolarPro, but it is the PolarPro Katana for the Mavic Pro. The intended use of this device is to let you harness your Mavic in here, slap a phone on this, and use it as a camera on a gimbal, 4K high quality wide angle camera. So that's why I thought I'd make this video to give us kind of an experience of what that would look like. Here's the problem. In principle, it's good, but I'm actually gonna start with the negatives of this. Now first, there is no adjustability on this. This is just a vertical, that's it. It is also limited in size, so it can only go so far. There is a angle mount, so you can put it on an angle, but it is just the one angle. So you can put it horizontally, you can put it vertically, or you can put it on, this is kind of frustratingly annoying, and now it's backwards. Okay, we'll adjust it. There's got a little adjustment thing. It is far from secure. I mean, not my favorite option. But again, even that is just one angle and you can't adjust it. So my thought was, hey, I've got one of these bad boys. These are pretty much universal. You can get them for like $5–10 bucks on Amazon. I'm just gonna use that to modify that, and that will fix my only problem with this thing, right? Because that was my initial thought, is that's gonna be the only problem. No, the next problem comes in if you are not aware that there is a way to connect just your phone. Because as soon as I set it up and I put the phone in, I'm like, wait, how do I connect to the Mavic without the controller? So I did I'll actually show you guys what I ended up doing, and you'll see that in the shots here on screen, where I connected the phone to the stand here, and then the gimbal was attached up top. So it was this like monstrosity this way. It was just kind of like hanging off of it, just so I can get the shot, because I didn't want to do research while I was out and trying to get these shots. So I was like, you know what, fine, I'll figure out, maybe that's like a specialty thing. And it is a specialty thing, because on the actual Mavic, you have to go into the micro SD card slot. There is a switch, a toggle switch for RC or Wi-Fi, and I've seen that switch before, but I've always thought, why would I want to switch to Wi-Fi if I have RC? RC has more distance, RC has the better stability of connection, so like, why would I want to switch to Wi-Fi? Thinking that it was just going to switch the Wi-Fi to the controller, like the method it connects through. I did not know you could just connect to the phone. I figured that out once I got home, but I got some shots. Now, additionally, when this thing's folded up, you have your front LEDs facing to the back, and then you have this look, where you just have LEDs flashing at you. Now, I did find out that you can turn off the front LEDs, not the back ones, so far as I can tell, but maybe there's a way to do that too. My thought was just, you know, gaff tape. Just put some gaff tape on it and you might be able to kind of get away with it. But as far as like, especially if you're gonna be doing it at night, I was out at night, I bet people were looking. I really wasn't paying attention because I was just trying to get these shots and go, but they're very bright lights. I mean, they're meant to be seen from the ground when it's in the sky. They're visible. You know, it disrupted everybody's mood because I was in a public park, so I'm sure people were like, oh, what's he doing? It's this guy with his lights and this, you know, his contraption, because I had the controller. It looked like a monster. I'm sure people had some opinions, but I was there to get my shots. I got my shots. A couple more pet peeves more than anything, and I wouldn't even call them so much as bad. I would just say they are definitely detrimental to the kind of experience. This thing is not a sturdy hold. When it's on the machine, you put it down. Now again, let's say you're not able to hold it from the bottom because there's a drone in there, right? So you lock it, but here's the problem. Like, it's not sturdy. It's loosening up, and it shouldn't be. It definitely shouldn't be. So not a big fan of that. Obviously, you can put your own. You know, once you realize that you can attach something to give you a little more flexibility, you can pretty much attach anything you want to it. It's just quarter 20s, but it's an annoying fact. The other kind of pet peeve is, while this is meant for a Mavic Pro specifically, it does not have the greatest fit. Also, the attachment process is kind of annoying. You really have to kind of attach one side first because it ends up being, it's not flat, so you can't just like attach it while it's seated somewhere. So let's see. Okay, and it can't, so like that's too far. Here's the thing, it's too loose this way, right? It's not, and you gotta really just kind of push it up till it's sturdy, and then it's, all right, cool. And then you gotta make sure it's straight, like that's fine, and then you can tighten it down. There is, I don't know if you can see, there is like a kind of a rubber membrane, so you don't actually crack your drone with the actual plastic frame. So that's kind of a nice touch, but again, it just doesn't feel as sturdy and as like secure as it should. Like I feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel as secure as I feel like it should. The really most disappointing part, just the natural behavior of the Mavic. It does not, I mean, it's meant to be a flying drone. The gimbal only behaves in certain ways. The gimbal does not do what normal gimbals do. It just doesn't. So when you, for instance, move up or down, it seeks to keep a level shot. It does not seek to follow the shot, follow the angle where you're going. It just seeks to keep a level, steady shot. So that is what it's doing this whole time. So effectively what you get is a single angle vertically, single vertical angle, unless you physically move up or down. Left to right, it is gonna track, but up and down, yeah, there's really not any jumping up and down. You can adjust in camera, not the greatest experience, not the greatest footage, not the greatest look, but I was disappointed. So then, once you're strapped in, you have to connect, you have to power on the drone, you have to connect to the drone's Wi-Fi. The instructions are inside the right front arm, and that's big shouts to Josh from Momentum Productions. That's an old video of theirs, but hey, it helped me out. It helped me figure out how to do this. So you see my point? Very bright back here. There's a lot of light going on. So like I ended up putting it up against my body just to kind of get it out of my face. Once you connect, obviously it'll save your password. DJI, what's it's called? DJI 4, Go 4, whatever the app is for this one. Obviously, if you're using one of the different varieties of this, it'll be the one for your device. And you know, when you do your footage, you're gonna switch over to your camera mode. You start. You have, like I said, you have gimbal controls up here, and like you can do one taps or hold it, but that's, you know, there's no smoothness. You can manually adjust the settings inside for up and down yaw, I think that's yaw, speed, so you can slow that down when you just hold down, but it's not something that it's really convenient as far as how, like, kind of I intended to use this. And here's the other thing. Because you know what a normal gimbal isn't? Loud. And yeah, the gimbal, whisper quiet, but the drone has cooling systems and they are loud. So this is really a niche situation kind of solution. This would be for B-roll only, where sound didn't matter. And hey, you're gonna get some good shots, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, still the great camera, great lens. And on the positive side, honestly, this is like one of the best grips I've ever handled. So like this is just feels comfortable, it feels natural to hold. Like it's kind of already, not kind of, it is already angled for your hand, like the way your hand naturally curves. So it's a good solution once you understand the limitations of that solution. It's linked down below if you're interested. I'll link the popular drone varieties down there and you can decide on your own. But do you see my point? Do you see my point? Like, this is a distracting thing, right? I'm sure this is being picked up. I turned off the AC in the house. This is the only sound besides me talking. And there's not really a way to stop that. I mean, it's a cooling system, it has to turn on, and you have to turn it off to stop it. It's not an optimal solution for everything, right? It's not gonna be your go-to camera, but for some like B-roll, even if you, let's say you bought one of these for play. I saw one of the reviews on Amazon, they used it for like a pool party and like, you know, like family videos. I was like, that's kind of a smart idea, right? Like, you're not flying it, but you're still getting some dope footage, it's high quality. One day you wanna put it to music, you can. It's okay. Like I wanted it to be more. I wanted it to be better. I really wanted it to be kind of like y'all could just grab this, get some dope footage and not have to bring another camera, not have to do something. But no, this is gonna be very, very specific. I think if you are in kind of niche situations where you're doing stuff that, you know, is not vertical, Hodis, for instance, this might be a good solution for him because he does car videos. So cars are only so vertical and you can reach top to bottom like freehand. So you could do a full vertical pan with this nice 4K camera. It's not a bad solution. You know, product photography, product videography, that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it is like, again, as long as you don't need angles and crazy stuff, because it's not going to do that. Now, I thought maybe the FPV mode would do that and move it with the movement of the drone, but it doesn't do that. So really there's no way to get around the limitation of the actual camera itself. As far as the Katana, it's, I think, a good enough solution for getting kind of more out of your drone than you did previously, being able to shoot in places that you can't fly it. Obviously limited on a horizontal angle, but takes what you can get, right? That's gonna be it for this one. If you have any questions about this, drop them down below. Otherwise, I'll see y'all in the next one.